Osiris here, stuck in the middle, and sometimes you have to tell people something that they don't want to hear, but they might need to hear. And there are a lot of people that need to hear this. My biggest takeaway from the Daunte Wright situation is, how do we come out of that situation with no one dying? The biggest takeaway from that is nothing should be more important than your life. See, the police officers can't make you comply. The way to increase your odds of making it out of a police interaction like the one that Daunte Wright was killed in, which the cops were terrible, but the number one thing to take away from that is there is a time to comply and there's a time to fight something legally, not flee or try to run from the cops. That just increases your charges. That increases your chance of dying. If someone is telling you something else is a bigger takeaway than that, they're feeding you a bowl of manure. It's garbage. So I have a tweet here. White people, stop saying that black people should comply, because in reality, it doesn't matter for the black community if they comply or not. What the hell are you saying? What does that even mean? What is that? I'm going to repeat it one more time, just the first part of this. White people, stop saying that black people should comply, because in reality, it doesn't matter for the black community if they comply or not. Why is this directed towards white people? What, are black people not saying that you should comply in certain scenarios in interacting with the cops? Is that a white person thing? Or are you just okay if black people say it? Bizarre. It doesn't matter for the black community if they comply or not. What does that mean? We're talking about if you're in an interaction with a police officer, and I'm talking to my children or even a neighbor or somebody, Daunte Wright should have complied and just took the handcuffs. That's a no-brainer, right? I mean, we're not arguing over that, are we? Are we arguing over that based on political or racial lines? What is happening? Am I in some type of bizarro planet? There's a time to retreat. There's a time to push hard. There's a time to comply. There's a time not to comply. So when would I say not to comply? If a bunch of police knock on the door right now to my crib and they say, you know what, we got a warrant, we're coming in. I'm like, well, hold up. No, you're not. I need to see the warrant first. And I do not consent for you to come in. And I'm going to call a lawyer right now. I don't want to talk to you until I have some legal counsel. They might push me aside and come in anyway. That's fine. I'm not fighting them. I'm saying I do not consent. So I am not complying with them saying, oh, if they ask, can I come in and search your house? No, the answer is no to that. I want to make sure that's on the record. But the situation Daunte Wright was in is you get cuffed. Why would you be telling me something? You wouldn't tell that. Do you believe he would tell that to his kids or nieces or nephews? Do you think he would tell anyone he loves that, you know what, don't comply because the system is racist? You sound like a damn fool right now eating this stuff up and retweeting it and liking it. They're terrified for their lives, and rightfully so, because the system is against them and the system needs to change now. Oh, that's great. Great words of wisdom. Daunte Wright is dead. And those words about the system won't bring him back. Compliance might have, though. Compliance might have got him out of that situation. So I don't know what the intent here is. If your intent is good, but you come to me with a cup of poison, I don't want it. I don't care what your intentions are. Bishop Talbert Swan is back at it again. Shut your lying racist mouths up with the just comply narrative. What kind of... So when you say narrative, I'm usually talking about a political narrative. That's where we are. That's where we are. We are feeding to the Daunte Wrights of the world and all the young men like him out there. That if someone comes to you, young man, and says, just comply, the cops in this situation made egregious mistakes. But the takeaway I want you to have is when you're in this situation, you have a higher, you're not guaranteed of coming out of any interaction with anybody alive, but your percentage is higher if you comply. And this Bishop, Talbert Swan, says you're racist if you say that. That's where we are right now. That's where we are. We are in a special place. Police murdering unarmed black people has never been about whether or not they comply with orders. What does that have to do with an interaction with, when you get into an interaction with police? You can't say, well, you know, officer, I'm not going to show you my hands because police murdering unarmed black people has never been about whether or not they comply with officers. You sound like a damn fool. So the systemic racism and all this history, you must know your history that provides a macro view, a bigger view, an academic view, a view you can use in a debate with a congressperson. Not the macro view of, I just got pulled over. The officer said, let me see your hands. Oh, I'm not going to comply because of the history of racism. You sound like a damn fool. Sometimes I have to do it. Sometimes you have to tell people what they need to hear. And if you don't want to listen, then damn it, turn off this video. Ratio the video. I don't give a damn. Y'all are out here acting like idiots and feeding poison to people. I'm not going to stand by without saying something. Michael Malice summed this interaction up very well. He said, you can both think that a victim was stupid and should have known better, while acknowledging their assailant is an abomination. I mean, that was just a beautiful tweet. Daunte Wright was scared. I think he was scared. I don't know. It was very stupid what he did. Put his life in risk. He is a father. He was a father. And to, Daunte Wright going into that interaction, the number one thing for me, the number one thing that I would ask to hope that was on his mind is his kid. How do I get out of this alive? And we have people, a lot of people, telling us, oh, no, don't talk about that comply stuff. That's a Republican talking point. Wow. You need to just forget about these political parties. It's gone to the point of absurdity. I mean, YouTube took down a video of Ron DeSantis having a roundtable, talking about the health of Florida. They took it down. obviously divided over, just in my opinion, I don't have proof, but obviously in my head, in my opinion, over politics. Life or death. We have put life or death in the hands of political organizations. That bizarre. We are living in bizarre times. Nothing should be more important than your life. The last thing that I want to say is we have to be careful with this all cops are bad narrative and these riots that are okay and this attacking the police as if they're all bad. We have to hold them accountable no different than any organization, any person, anybody has to be held accountable. Police are no different. But you are now pushing the good cops out of the force. There are very few good cops that are going to do a job every day where they're literally getting spit on and unappreciated when they're putting their life on the line. And they might have a family. They want to go home to their family. And you're going to do it for a community that's ungrateful and every day is against you? I'm not doing that. I don't think a good cop is doing that. So you might have some left, but what you're doing is you're skimming off the best of the best. And what you're going to have left are dumbasses who cannot even cuff a kid that weighed about 100 pounds and a cop that doesn't know the difference between a taser and a Glock. That's what you have left. Congratulations. Take care.
Bring it in. Once upon a time, there was a brother named Castro. Had a little problem with his cash flow. Word. More than once upon a time, he had a dream o'clock mad dough. Only at the time, it seemed mad absurd. Then he saw a light bulb flash up in his forehead, shine so bright he had to close both eyes. Said whoever hit him for the average poor asshole about to be hit for the biggest surprise. Now, meanwhile, still short on pot to piss in. Not to mention any window to throw it out. Looking like who don't you want and where to come from. Sipping on chicken wings, smacking on stout. Step to his boy, the label of the month. Like, yo, what's the half kid? Let me get a deal. Got a dope style sound just like so-and-so. What's the name? Wrote it for me even more ill. Make you wanna holler like Marvin. Did I mention I'm starving? Quite thirst, meaning what? Meaning that I'ma do whatever it takes to make sure to play my shit first on the billboard and last on the countdown, like contact on that show. So what's up, like yo, how'd that sound? If you down to come on, let's go down to the studio right now. Bring me that crate with the old hits, make that beat with the right style. So that crowd I wanna go get in that club with the DJ. He be on the radio all day. I get in cool with him, even though he fake ass a toupee. I roll with ballers and thugs to make my image legit. Even though back in the day they told me I wasn't shit. I'm at the Cinderella ball now, but just don't quit. And fuck that, I shrink my feet if the shoe don't fit. I make it happen like hormones. You been full-blown, I got you mad now, cause I'm kicking that popcorn that blows up in a couple minutes. Expand the pockets till your girl's hands holding it. I see your shorty staring at me on the guest line, but these four backstage you do me just fine. All five, that's for my jam on the request line. So if you stress me, I can tell you through the grapevine. It's like this. Them that's scotch, I get them that's not shallow. But man, you gotta get the body getting good. Now if you can get it all this much and this fast, don't be telling me you wouldn't, cause I know that you would. Them that's scotch, I get them that's not shallow. But God, I gotta get the body getting good. Now if you can get it all this much and this fast, don't be telling me you wouldn't, cause I know that I'm number one, but the bullet can't hack it now. The billboard need a full metal jacket now. You see my face all day till it make you sick. I got a handful of cars, you can take your pick. Now who'da thought this bullshit song I had me seen in every video and every other magazine with more attention than the jet black drag queen at a convention with the Grand Dragon clans mean. Cause ain't on every word I say like a damn fiend. It's too bad I don't stand for a damn thing. They parents say I'm too nasty for they damn teens, but I ain't right it, so don't ask me what the fuck it mean. I got some other shit to worry about instead. The more money, more problems, like the man said. Ain't like my phone is being tapped by the damn feds, but my accountant said I can't get out the damn red. I heard the people getting tired of my song now. The album drops and now my fans are getting hostile. I only had one song that got the style right. The guy who wrote it, yo, his album dropped last night. My pockets on Slim Fast and Jenny Craig. The same clubs and restaurants that kept me well fed. Reject my credit like a Muslim do boy's head. Good thing my boss is my boy, so I ain't got a beg. But now we hollering at me like, yo, where the loot went? We had to clear the damn sample when the loop went. We coming up type short like an indent. And I just learned a new word called recoupment. I gotta pay for the video equipment and every other detail of red cent spent. Oh hell no, don't tell me about no fucking fine print. But tell me this, how the hell I'm gonna pay the rent? I gotta live the landlord, so now I tiptoe in and out the crib to find a way to get dough. Can't make another record, cause I can't flow. Damn right. But I could tell you a little story, and that shit go. How it go? It go. Once upon